So hello guys, in this video we are going to be doing a simple project where we'll be creating a simple test assessment or probably a quiz assessment for students. We are going to assume that we are teachers and we need to create tests for our students. So we are going to be leveraging on Kobotoolbox to create the simple form, and we'll be sending the score to the parents of the students in real time. How are we going to do that? We'll connect Google Sheets and Kobotoolbox together with the help of Kobotoolbox API. So we are going to be connecting the two pieces of software together with the help of Kobotoolbox API, and we are going to leverage on Google Sheets extension to send prompt notification to the parents of the students. So the notification is going to be the score, and it's going to be the information of the student alongside the score of the student, and we are going to set a threshold. If, for example, the student score is below the threshold, that means that the student failed the test, and if it falls above the threshold, that means that the student passed this test. So let's jump into it. So the first thing we are going to do is, let me just quickly write out the all what we need to do. The first thing is to create form. The second thing is to connect. Yes, we connect the API. Connect API to, let's say, Google Sheets. And the third thing that we are going to do is to send notification, right? So this is going to be the to-do. So this is just what we are going to do. We are going to create a form, we connect API to Google Sheets, then we send the notification, which is the score of the student. Now let's jump into it. The first thing we want to do is to click on new. Then I'm going to click on build from scratch. Then after that, I'm going to click on new. I'm going to click on build from scratch, and I'm going to name the form students test. And the description, I'm going to leave it empty. You can write whatever you like. For the sector, I'm going to use other sector. And for the country, I'm going to use Nigeria. And I'm going to click on create project. Okay, I need to select this, Nigeria. I need to select this, and I'm going to click on create project to create a project, and it's going to take me to a new interface. You can see this form is currently empty. You can add questions, notes, prompt, or other fields by clicking on the plus sign below. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on the plus sign below. Now, since this is a student test assessment, I would like to get the name of the student. So I'm going to say name. I'm going to say name of students, right? Which is going to be the first one. I'm going to click on add question, and I'm going to use test because I want the student to say whatever they want, or to write out their name. So the next thing I'm going to do is to click on the next button, and I'm going to ask for the name of the parents, which is going to be the next question. I'm going to click on add question, and this is going to be open-ended, so I'm going to use test also. So the next one that is going to come up will be the email, because I need the email of the parents, so which is very important in this project because we want to send the score to the parents. So we are going to leverage on the Google Sheet extension, like I said, to send the notification to the parent. The information, the data of the student, we are going to send it to the parent. So I'm going to click on add question, and this is also going to be open-ended, so I'm going to use test. Now the next one is going to be student ID. You can add this if you want. You can add another thing or other information. So I'm going to use student ID. I'm going to click on add question, and I'm going to use number. Now I'm going to click on the question again. So this is where the first question is going to come up. And the first question that I'm going to use will be different from what we've been doing before. And it's going to be who, let's say, who is this? And I'm going to use the question mark, and I'm going to click on add question, and I'm going to use select one. And what I want to do here is this: I want the student to identify the image of a particular object. Let's say the president of United States of America. So I want them to identify the image, and when they identify the image, they are going to select the name of the person in the photo. Let's say, for example, I have the image of Donald Trump, and the option is Donald Trump, Obama, or Joe Biden. Now, when they click on Donald Trump, that means that they score the right and they get the right answer. That means that they have a score of 1, right? And if the student select, let's say, Obama, that means that the student fail the question. So I'm going to use Donald Trump, right? But I still need to add the image. I'm still going to show you how to add images into Kobotoolbox. So I'm going to use Donald Trump as my first question, right? As my first option. And the second option is going to be Obama. And the third option is going to be, let me use Joe Biden, right? So now I want them to identify or a particular image, and they should select the right appropriate option to mark the particular image. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is to click on this, right? After clicking on this, I'm going to ask the next question, and the next question is going to be based on voice, right? So it's going to be based on audio, which I'm going to say determine this president, let's say voice, which is going to be audio, right? Determine the president voice, and I'm going to click on add question. I'm going to use select one. I'm going to use, let me use Joe Biden, Obama, and Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump. So what I'm going to do here is this: I'm going to add voice notes into the question. Now, when they click on, or when the respondent click on the audio, it's going to play the audio. Then they can now identify the audio, the voice in the audio. Then they will select the appropriate option. Now, let me click on the next question. The next question is going to be, let me say, let me use the prime minister. The prime minister of UK, which is United Kingdom, as of, if you're watching in the future, so I'm going to use as of, let's say October, as of October, comma, let's say 2022, is, which means that as of 2022, October 2022, we all know that the Prime Minister of UK is, I think, is Richie Sunak, right? So I'm going to use the option of, let me use option of Obama and Richie Sunak, and I'm going to use Nigerian governor, one of Nigerian governor. I'm going to use Sanwo-Olu. Now, the next question I'm going to have, so we have 3 questions. For me, I think we have 3 questions based on score. The first one is this, second, third. I need to add 2. Now I have this, which is, who is this? Determine the present voice. The third one is Prime Minister of UK is. The next question I'm going to ask is going to be, let's say one of these is a governor in, let's say, in Nigeria. And I'm going to click on that question, and I'm going to use select one. I'm going to use, in this, I'm going to use Obama. We all know that Obama is not a governor in Nigeria. I'm going to use Donald Trump. And I'm going to use Sanwo-Olu, right? So Sanwo-Olu is the right answer and is in the third extensible markup language value. Now, the last one I'm going to ask is this. I'm going to ask this simple question. Nigeria is located in which of these continents? We all know that Nigeria is located in Africa, so I'm going to select, I'm going to use Asia, I'm going to use Africa, and I'm going to use Europe. So now we have 5 questions, or 5 questions that can be scored. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So now the first one is, who is this? Which I'm going to add the image of Donald Trump. So the respondent or the student, if they identify the right image and they select the appropriate option, is going to count as 1. Also to this, determine this present voice. I'm going to add audio to this. Now, if the respondent or the student pick the appropriate, identify the voice in the audio and they pick the appropriate option, is going to count as 1 also. So, and I'm going to add all these together to get the final score. So I'm going to add this particular question, add this, and you know we have 5 questions that can be used to get the appropriate score. So it's going to add all this together and get 5, and we are going to set a threshold, and the threshold is going to be if they score let's say below 3, and that means that they fail the test, and if they score above 3, that means that they pass the test. Now, to add images, we can add images, we can add audio, and we can add video in form builder. So to add all these things together, to add images, voice, to add video or audio into the into Kobotoolbox form, we will need to do that in Excel. We need to do that in Excel. So what we are going to do is we'll download this form into Excel file, and in Excel file we are going to do the simple manipulation in order to upload images, video or audio into Kobotoolbox. But before then, what I need to do is to change the data column name of each of these questions, and also change the extensible markup language so that we can easily identify the questions. So what I'm going to do in the first one, I'm going to change the data column name to Q1. So if I want to identify this question, I'm going to identify the question with Q1, right? Now the second one, you can see by default, Kobotoolbox is going to give us the data column name, but I don't want to make use of this. I want to make use of something that is going to be simple for everyone to understand. So I'm going to change this to Q2, right? The next one, I'm going to change it to Q3. The next one, I'm going to change it to Q4. This, I'm going to change it to let me change it to Q5. This, I'm going to change it to Q6. This, I'm going to change it to Q7. This, I'm going to change it to Q8. This, I'm going to change it to Q9. So we've identified all the objects with Q1 to Q9. So if I want to call a particular, if I want to call a question, I can call the question using the data column name. So now the next thing I'm going to do, let me collapse this. I'm going to go back again. From this option, I'm going to change the extensible markup language, means with value. So to change this Donald Trump, I'm going to change it to 1. I'm going to change this to 2, and I'm going to change this to 3. So why is this important? This is important if you want to probably download this, you want to move it to Starter, you want to move it to SPSS, so that you can easily identify this with this value, right? And also, this is important if I want to call option, one particular option in the question. I can just call the option using the extensible markup value. You are going to see how I'm going to call this option. If I want to call the student, or I want to call the respondent, I'm going to use the option. And to use the option, I need to change the extensible markup language. You can leave it like that, but it is preferable if you change the extensible markup language. By default, Kobotoolbox is going to change the extensible markup language, but I will want to change. I will prefer if you or me can change the extensible markup language so that you can easily identify the option. So the next one, I'm going to change this to 1. I'm going to change this to 2. I'm going to change this to 3. I'm going to change this one to 1. I'm going to change this to 2. And I'm going to change this to 3. Same applies to this. 1. Okay, this is going to be 1, 2, 3. So you can change this to 3 if you don't mind. You can use any value, but I just prefer to use it in ascending order. So I'm going to use this to 3. So you can use any value you want. You can use A, B, C. You can use string, and you can also use integer. So I'm using integer to represent it, right? So I've done everything that is needed to do. Now, what I need now, in order to apply images, to apply audio, or to apply video into this form, I will need to download it. And do the manipulation in Excel. So I will save the form. After saving the form, I will go back to the dashboard. Then what I'm going to do is to click on these more actions. I'll click on the more options, and I will click on download SLS, and it's going to download it in Excel. So this is the default name given to it. I can rename it. Let me name it as student test, so that I can easily identify this form. So I'll click on save to save it. Then I'm going to open it, and let's see what is going to be inside the form. So this is the form, right? Now we have three worksheets. The first one is survey, second one is choices, this third one is settings. We are not going to tamper with this. We are only going to work with survey and choices. For the survey, what is inside the survey is I think is just the label, which is the question. You can see name of student, name of parent, email address. The question we have in the form builder. Let me go back to the form builder so that you can see name of student, name of the parent, email of parent, student ID, who is this, determine the present voice, Prime Minister of UK. So you can see these are the questions, right? This implies that if I make this mandatory from the form builder, if I make it mandatory, this is going to change to true. But I'm using false, right? By default, it's going to be false. This is the data column name. You can see I rename everything to be Q1 to Q9. You can see the first question is Q1, Q2 down to Q9, right? Now, for the choices, you can see this is the option, the first question. So it's going to pick the first question here. And the first question label, you can see label from this particular one, which is who is this? I have Donald Trump, Obama, and Joe Biden. Donald Trump, Obama, and Joe Biden. The next option, Joe Biden, Obama, and Donald Trump. Joe Biden, Obama, and Donald Trump. The next one is this, which is Obama, Rishi Sunak, and Sanwo-Olu. You can see Obama, Rishi Sunak, and Sanwo-Olu in ascending order, right? Now, to add images, video, and audio, I'm going to go to column F after the first one, which is type, name, label, or whatever is inside the column. Then you go to the next you go to the last one. Then inside the last one, let me zoom in. and in order to add images, I'm going to type media colon image. So inside this media dot colon image, I'm going to, if I want to add images, I'm going to copy the name of the images into this. Then I'm going to move the images into the Kobotoolbox form builder. So if I now upload this form back into the form builder, is going to detect the name of the image and is going to appear in the web interface or wherever we want to make use of the form. If we want to make use of the form in our mobile device, it's going to display the image, or if we want to make use of the form in the web interface, it's going to display the image. So it's going to identify the name of the image and is going to display the image to users. Right now, the next thing is I want to add audio. So to add audio, I'm going to use the same thing, media colon audio. And the next one, I want to add video. To add video, I'm going to use media colon video. So you can see this is what we need in this form. We need the image, audio, and video. We want to add image, audio, and video. Now, the next thing I'm going to, let me zoom out. I'm going to copy this because this is going to appear in the question. So if I want it to appear in the option, I'm going to go to choices, and after the list name label, I'm going to paste it here. So I'm going to paste. So if I want to add image to the option, I'm going to put the name of the image. If I want to add the audio, I'm going to put the name of the audio. And if I want to add the video, I'm going to put the name of the video here. Now, what I need to do now is to go back to survey. Now, from the first one, which is this, who is this? In this question, I want the student to identify who is in the image, and what I want to use is Donald Trump. Based on the option, I want to use Donald Trump. Now, to add Donald Trump image into this, what I need to do is to go back to form builder. I'm going to save and go to settings. In these settings, I'm going to go to media. This is where I'm going to drop the image. I'm going to drop the image. All the images, all the images, the videos, and the audios, I'm going to drop it here so that I will be able to identify the name of the image with this in order to display the images, the audio, or the video. So I'll go to the web interface and look for Donald Trump image. So I'm going to look for Donald Trump image. So I'm going to look for Donald Trump. This is Donald Trump. So I'm going to click on image. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to save the image. Right click and save the image. So the image is in JPEG. So I can name it Donald. So I already have that on my system. So let me save it again. Donald. Now that I have Donald Trump, I'm going to move the Donald Trump image. I'm going to move it into the file. Let me move it here and drop it here in the student test. So you can see the Donald Trump is inside the attached files. So what I'm going to do now is to copy the name. I'm going to copy the name and go to the exe. In the exe, in the who is this, I'm going to paste it in the column of media.image. So you can see. Now, I'm going to paste this in the column of, you can see it here. So now when I move this image, when I move this form back into the form builder, it's going to detect the name of the media and it's going to display the image for respondent or for students. That is how to add image into the question. Now, if I want to add, I also want to add audio. Determine this present voice. I have the present voice. I have the audio. You can download any audio on the internet, but I think I have one here. I have for Let me look. I have for Barack Obama. So I'm going to be using this. Now, to use this, what I need to do is to move this. I will move this audio into this student test, into the settings in the media. So to do that, what I need to do is just to drag this, drag and drop, or you can just click on it. It will open the folder. It will open all the folders in your system. Then you can now pick the appropriate audio. So here you can see I have barackobama.mp3. So I'm going to copy the name. I'm going to copy the name and go to the exe. I want to display it in the question. So determine this present voice. I'm going to go to the audio, right? And I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to paste it here. You can see I'm going to paste it here. Determine the present voice, and it's inside the media : audio, right? Let me remove this. So you can see now the next one is the Prime Minister of UK as of October 2022 is I want to display the image in the option. Now, I don't want to display it in the question. I want to display it in the option. So I will go to the choices. I will go to the choices. I will go to the choices. Now, in the choices, this is where I'm going to add in the choices, I'm going to add the images name, right? So let me go back. Now, what I need to do, let me go back to the question so that you can see the question student test. I'm going to click on the edit, and the question is the Prime Minister of UK as of October 2022, Obama, Rishi Sunak and Sanwo-Olu. So I need the image of Obama, Rishi Sunak and Sanwo-Olu. So what I need to do now is to go back. So you can see Obama, Rishi Sunak and Sanwo-Olu. Let me just yellow this. Let me put its color. So now I want to put the image here, or image of Obama, Rishi Sunak and Sanwo-Olu. Now to do that, I'm going to look for Obama's image on the internet. So let me just look for Obama. Though I already have it on my PC, so I will click on it. But I just want to show you how you can use images with same size and with the same height and width. So I'm going to click on this. Let me use this. Let me right click on this and click on save image. The image is in JPEG, so is okay. So I'm going to name it Obama. Let me save it, or inside download, let me name it Obama, right? Or let me name it OB. Let me name it OB. So here I have OB, right? I have Obama's image on my PC. Now, what I need to do now is I want to get the same size and same height and same width of all the options. So to do that, I'm going to look for app icon generator. With this, I'll be able to get the same size, the same width of all images. So I'm going to click on app icon generator. Then I will move the image into this. You can see. Then I will now click on generate, and it's going to generate different height and width of this image, of Barack Obama's image. So I'm going to, let me save it inside. Let me rename it as OB Obama underscore image. So I'll save it. Then I'll go to the folder. You can see it here. So I will right click. Let me delete all this. I don't need all this. Let me delete this. Let me delete this. Now I have this. I will right click, extract file. Let me save it here. You can see. So when I click it, I will have this image. Let me click again. So you can see I have all the images in different sizes. You can see here I have 16 by 16, 20 by 20, 29 by 29, down to 1024 by 24, right? So I'm going to be using this. Let me right click on this. Let me rename it as Obama. So what I need to do is to do the same for all other images. So instead of doing that, I already have all the images on my PC. So you can go ahead and do the same thing. So what I need to do now is to go to all the images. Let me just go to Obama. I'm going to go to Obama, Obama's images. I want to make use of this, which is 1024 by 24. So I'm going to drag this, right? I'm going to drag it to, okay, so I need to first of all go to the settings, go to the media, and I'm going to drag the image. I'm going to drag this into this, and it's going to load. You can see I have Obama PNG, right? So I'm going to do the same for Richie Sunak. So let me look for Richie Sunak image that I've done. I think, okay, this is it. You can see. So when you move the image into the app icon, you'll be able to generate different sizes of the images. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to click on the app icon, and you can see. So I have Richie.png in 1000 by 24. So I'm going to move this. I'm going to move this into this, right? So you can see I have Richie.png. So the last one that I need is Sanwo-Olu's image. So I'm going to go to download. I think I have it on my PC. I think I have it on my PC. Okay, I don't have it. So what I need to do is to search on the internet. I'm going to say Sanwo-Olu, and I'm going to click the first one. This is nice. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to click on save image. Okay, this is on web, so I don't want this. I want the one with JPEG. So let me just click on this, save image. Okay, this is JPEG. So I'm going to name it Sanwo. So I'm going to name it Sanwo. So let me save it in download, right? Now, I will now go to app icon. I will move it here. Then I'll click on generate, and it's going to generate different sizes of Sanwo-Olu's image. So let me save it here. Let me name it Sanwo. Save, and I'll go to the folder. Then I will right click, extract file. I will click on OK, so, and it's going to display different sizes of Sanwo-Olu's image. So I need this one. I need 1024 by 1024. So I will rename this as Sanwo. So what I need to do now is to drag this image into the Kobotoolbox. So I can just click on, let me do the second method, click on it, and come to Sanwo-Olu's image, Sanwo, then click on this, then click on this, then click on Sanwo-Olu.png. So then I'll click on open, and it's going to save it to attached files, right? So I have all the images that I need. So what I need to do is to go back to this place. So I'm going to use Obama's image. So I'm going to copy this, copy the name, go to the Excel, and paste it under the image, right? I'm going to paste it here. So the next one I need, which is Sunak's image. So I'm going to come to this place, copy, come to this place and paste. The last one is Sanwo-Olu. I'm going to copy this, right click, copy, come to this and paste. You can see. So the next one also, the next question is, let me go back to the next question. Let me go back to the next question. The next question there is, after the Prime Minister of UK is this, so I've identified that. The next question is, one of these is a governor of Lagos State, Obama, Donald Trump, and Sanwo-Olu. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to copy this. I already have it here, so I'm going to copy it here. And Donald Trump, I'm going to copy. Okay, I don't have Donald Trump image, so let me check. Maybe I've done that. So I'm going to go to settings, media. So I have Donald Trump.png. So I'm going to copy this. Okay, I think I need equal size of Donald Trump JPEG. I need 1000 by 24. So let me just go to the image. Let me look for, I think I have Donald Trump image on my, okay, seems I don't have it. I don't have it, so I need to, okay, or let me just, okay, I need to quickly, okay, I have it on my system, you can see. So I have it on my system. Let me right click and rename it as, let me name it as um, Donald Donald J. Donald J. So I'm going to copy, I'm going to drag this. Let me just drag it, or let me go back. Let me drag it. I'll drag it and paste it here. And it's going to load. So let's wait. So you can see Donald J. So I'm going to copy it, the PNG portable network graphics. So I'm going to go to the Excel. I'm going to paste it here so that we have all the images to be of equal sizes. So I'm going to go look for some Wooloo's image. So I'm going to copy this, right? I'm going to come here and paste. And the last question is Asia, Africa, and Europe, which is the simple question that I asked. The question is based on which continent is Nigeria, and Nigeria is located in Africa, right? So I have all this. So let me just collapse this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is okay. So I can save this. So if you want to add image the same way, you add it under the media. If you want to add it under inside the option, and if you want to add it inside the question, you come to survey, then you add it here. You add the images, or you add the video inside the question, which is the label. So now what I need to do, let me just go back. Let me remove all the color. Let me remove the color. No fill. No fill. Okay, no fill. Then the next thing is, let me save. Then I will. So now what I need to do is to upload this Excel into the Kobotoolbox form builder. Now we've been able to identify all the images. So we've been able to install or attach all the images into the Kobotoolbox form builder by coming to settings, media, and uploading all what we need, the images, the voice, or the videos. So, and also we've been able to connect the two pieces together by pasting the name of the media into the Excel. So what I need now to do is, what I want to do now is to upload this Excel into the form builder. So to do that, I'm going to save. So I've saved the form as student test. The next thing I'm going to do is to go to the form builder. I'm going to go to the form, and I'm going to click on this button, which is the replace form. Replace form. I'm going to click on the replace form. I'm going to click on upload an SLS form, and you can see drag and drop the SLS form file here, or click to browse. So I'm going to click this to browse. Then I'm going to come to quick access, and it's going to, because I work on it, is the last one that I'm working, is the one I'm working on. So it's going to be on the recent files. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to click on open. You can see, and it's going to load, and it's going to save the form into the form builder. So what I need to do now is to display or to view the audio, the video, or the images. What I need to do is to click on this deploy to deploy the form to server. So you can see deploy form, and to view the form is either I copy the URL uniform resource locator, or I click on open to open the form in a new tab. So what I'm going to do now is to click on this to open the form in a new tab, and it's going to load, and it's going to take some time probably to load the image. You can see the image will display. You can see you can see the image, so it's loading. You can see this is perfect. This is what we want. You can see the images are of equal sizes. You can see here is, I'm using 1000 by 24. You can use any size that you want. You can see. So you can see the first question, which is who is this? If I click on this, which is Donald Trump. Now what I want to do now is to, when I click on this Donald Trump, I want it to score me. And if I click on the wrong answer, I want it to count as 0. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's go back to student test, right? So I'm going to click on the edit form. Now, what I want to do, let me go back again, is where if the student clicks on Donald Trump, it should count, the score should be 1. And if the student probably clicks on the wrong answer, it's going to count as 0. So that's what I want to do. I'll go back to this place now, and I'm going to, in between this question, I'm going to click on this blue button icon, and you can see I have the SML, which is extensible markup value, to identify the option. So I'm going to say if open bracket, which I'm using the if condition, $, open curly bracket, the question, which is the object, the guy here. The guy here has been identified as Q5. So I'm going to copy the data column name. If the data column name, paste it here, which is the name of this guy here. So I'm going to close it and say if equal to the option, the right option, which is Donald Trump. If it's equal to 1, which is extensible markup language of 1, comma, I want it to count as, if it is equal to Donald Trump, the right answer, I want it to count as 1, otherwise count as 0, or else count as 0, right? So if the right answer is selected, then the count should be 1. And if the if the wrong answer is selected, then the count should be 0, right? Which is this. So I'm going to click on add question, and I'm going to click on calculate to calculate the score. You can see. So when I click on save, it's going to save this into the form builder. So let me just quickly display this so that you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to click on this place again, and let me just write score, $, to call this one, to call the guy here. I'm going to click on the settings and copy the data column name and use open curly bracket, paste it here, and close curly bracket. Then to display the answer to the respondent, or to the users, or to the students, I'm going to click on add question, and I'm going to use notes. You can see I'm going to use notes, which means that it's going to display whatever I have here to the users, or to the students, or the respondents. Now let's preview the form. So to preview the form, I'm going to click on this preview form, right? So let's preview the form. It's loading. So let's wait for it. So I have it here, right? You can see the question is, who is this? And by default, the score is 0. So if I pick the wrong answer, it's going to show 0, which is, this image is of Donald Trump. So I picked Obama, and the score is 0. If I pick Joe Biden, the score is going to be 0. But if I pick Donald Trump, it's going to change to 1. Now we are in the right path. So what we need to do now is, let me just clean this off. I don't need this again. So I don't want to display the score to the student. So I will click it and delete it. Now we've been able to calculate the first question. So to calculate the second question, I'm going to do the same. Determine the present voice, and the voice is of I think it's Obama. So I'm going to use if. So the syntax we are going to use is if open bracket, $, curly bracket. So if the data column name representing the question, if this guy here equal Obama, and Obama is represented by I think is I'm using the extensible markup language of 2. If it's equal to 2, Obama is 2 here, then the score should be 1, otherwise, or S should be 0. So I'm going to close this, right? And I'm going to click on add question, and I'm going to use calculate. As you can see, if the right answer is Obama, then the score is going to be 1. And if the wrong answer is, let's say, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, if the answer, the respondent or the student picks Joe Biden or Donald Trump, is going to count as 0, right? So same applies to this. I'm going to do this also. If open bracket, which is Sunak, is in number 2, if open bracket $, open curly bracket, the guy here is represented by Q7, if is equal to 2, which is Sunak, accessible markup language value of 2, then count as 1, S count as 0. So I'm going to close this and click on add question, then select calculate. Also this, one of these is a governor in Nigeria. So I'm going to put the option here, if open bracket $, curly bracket, the right answer is 3. So I'm going to copy the guy in the data column name, paste it here, close it, equal 3. Then if is equal to 3, the right answer is 3, so which is, it should count as 1, otherwise count as 0, right? So I'm going to click on that question. I'm going to select calculate. Same, okay, this is same with this. So I'm going to say if $, open curly bracket, here is copy question 9, paste the guy here, close it, equal to what? Nigeria is in which continent? Nigeria is in Africa, which is 2. Then count as 1, S counts as 0, right? So I'm going to click on add question, and I'm going to click on calculate. Let's see, maybe I've done all. So the first one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've been able to use calculation question type to get the score. Now what I need to do now is to add all these score together. Now to add all these score together, under here, I'm going to use $, I'm going to use $, open curly bracket. So the first calculation is this, and the data column name is calculation. So I'm going to copy it, come down here, paste the guy here, close it, plus it, then use $, again, open curly bracket, go to the next one. The next one is this. The next calculation is this. Let's see what is going to be in the data column name. So you can also change the data column name. So we have calculation underscore 001 by default. So I'm going to copy it and paste the guy here and close it. Then use plus sign again, $, open curly bracket. Let me go to the next one. The next one is this. I think is this. Yeah. So I'm going to copy this, copy the guy here, paste it here, then close the curly bracket. Use plus sign again, open $, then the next guy is going to be this. Copy this, open curly bracket, paste it here, close the curly bracket. Use plus, $, open curly bracket, and copy the last one. Copy it, then paste it here, then close it. And it's going to calculate all the score. If, for example, the calculation 1 is 0, it's going to be 0. If calculation 001 is 1, it's going to be 1. If this is 1, it's going to be 1. If this is 1, it's going to be 1. If this is 0, it's going to be 0. Then everything will be calculated, and we have the final score. So I'm going to click on add question and use calculate. So now to display the score, let me display the score. Let me see what is going to happen. Let me just say score again, $, and I'm going to copy the data column name of this. Then $, open curly bracket, paste it here, close the curly bracket, add question, then use notes to display the score. So let me click on preview to preview the form and see what's going to happen. Let me close this. See what's going to happen. If, for example, I select, let me select the right answer, Donald Trump. Here, if I click on this,
I don't oppose war in all circumstances. And when I look out over the...
I know this is Obama, so I'm going to click on this. So the Prime Minister of UK as of October 2020 is, the right answer is Rishi Sunak. And one of these is the Governor of Lagos State. I'm going to click on Sanwo-Olu. And let me fill, you can see 4. So let me fill this. Nigeria is located in which of these continents? If I click on Europe, it's going to be 0. If I click on Asia, it's going to be 0. But if I click on Africa, it's going to be 1. Then 1 will be added to this to make it 5. So when I click on that, it's going to be 5, right? So this is valid. So what I need to do now, let me close this. I don't want to display this to the student. So what I need to do now is to set a threshold. To set a threshold. So if the student score below 3, then the student fail the test. And if the student scores above 3, that if the student score above 3, that means the student pass the test. So I'm going to go down to this place and I'm going to use this. I'm going to say if open bracket $, open curly bracket, the total score. Let me change this to score. I'm going to change it to score. If what I have here, the data column name, copy, you can see the data column name, which is score. I've changed it to score. If the score, close the curly bracket, is greater, I can use both ways. I can use less than. If it's less than 3, comma, then apostrophe. If it is less than 3, that means fail. Apostrophe, comma, S, that means pass, right? That means pass. So I'm going to close the bracket. Then I'm going to click on add question and I'm going to click on calculate and I'm going to save. So if I go to preview, I won't be able to see this. But to view this, I will need to use notes. So let's go back again. Let's preview. Let's see, maybe this is going to display. You can see it's not there. So if I want to display this, what I need to do again is to come here and say score. Let's use score and say $, and let me pick what is here. Let me pick this. Open curly bracket, paste it and close it. Then add question and let me use notes to display it. Then when I save and I go back to preview, I'll be able to see if the student pass or fail the test. So I'm going to use Donald Trump. Let me click on Donald Trump and I'm going to let me choose Joe Biden. For this, I'm going to use Rishi Sunak. For this, I'm going to use Sanwo-Olu. Pass. So let me fill 1. Let me fill this. Pass because I scored 3. Let me fill this. Let me. I think okay. I need to select Joe Biden here. I need to select Joe Biden. You can see I have few because I only score Sanwo-Olu, which is 1, and Rishi Sunak, and it is below the threshold. So if I should click on Donald Trump, it's going to change to pass because I scored 1, 2, and 3, right? You can see, which is the score. If the score is below 3, that means fail. If it is above 3 or equal to 3, that means pass, right? That means pass. So now we are getting it. Let me go back again so that we can see it. So it is fail by default, right? If I click on this, Europe, fail by default. No, let me click on Africa. Let me click on Sanwo-Olu. Let's see, still fail. But when I click on another answer here, making 3, you can see pass. If I should click on let me click on Obama, it's going to be pass. and let me click on the right answer here. It's going to be pass. So now we've done all what we need to do. We've successfully created a simple form, which we have here. So the form here, we can see that we have this done. So what I need to do now is to save the form. After saving the form, okay, I need to, I don't want to display this to the students, so I'm going to clear off this, right? So I'm going to go to save it, then go back to the form. Then I want to connect the form, which is the next one, is to connect the API to Google Sheets. So to do that, what I need to do is to go back to the form, go to settings, and go to sharing. Under the sharing, I will click on anyone can view the form, so that anyone can view the form, and it's going to create a shareable link for anyone to be able to have access to edit, delete, and do whatever with the form. So I'm going to also click on anyone can view submission made to this form, so that this will be, I'll be able to use the link in Google Sheets. So after this, what I need to do now is to go back to the form. Then I will redeploy. I'll click on OK. Then I don't have the form. You can see it's in gray. It's in gray. So I need to fill the form. So let me close this. Let me open the form. Let me click on discard and reload. Let me reload again. Let me reload again and see, maybe it's there. So this is, I'm still having the old form. Let me click on it. I want to have the new form. So I'm still having the old form. So let me reload. So I think I have it. So now the name of the student, I'm going to use Sheung as the name of the student. The name of the parent, I'm going to use David. I'm just filling this with fictitious data or dummy data. So for the mail, I'm going to use, okay, let me use, I think I have a mail here. I think I have a mail to use. I'm going to use this kenbottle9@gmail.com. So let me go back. Let me change it to kenbottle9@gmail.com. So for the student ID, I can enter 21. Who is this? Donald Trump. Determine, let me click on it.
I don't oppose war.
This is Obama. I'm going to fail it. The Prime Minister of UK, I'm going to fail it. And the next one of these is the Governor of Lagos State. I'm going to get this right. And Nigeria is located in which of these continents? I'm going to use Asia, and I'm going to click on save. So I failed the test, right? So it's going to, we are going to wait for a while for it to load to server, and it's going to show one successfully submitted on, you can see one was successfully submitted. So I need to fill this again. I need to name of students. Let me use Daniel. For the parent, I'm going to use Michael. For the email address, I'm still going to use kenbottle9. Let me use kenbottle9@gmail.com. For the student ID, I'm going to use Sue. For who is this, I'm going to select the right answer. For this, determine, I'm going to use Obama. For the Prime Minister of UK as of October 2022 is, I'm going to use Richie Sunak. One of these is the Governor of Lagos State. I'm going to use Sanwo-Olu. And Nigeria is located in which of these continents? I'm going to use Africa, and I'm going to click on save, right? So I have two forms in the database, and it's going to show 2 was successfully submitted, right? It's going to show, you can see student test. Inside the student test, I have 2 was successfully submitted. So let me go back. So I still have 0. What I need to do is to reload the form. So You can see I have 2 submissions. Now I need to click on data. So I'm going to come to this data. I'm going to click on download. In the download, what I need to do is I'm going to click on this advanced option. In the advanced option, the first thing I'm going to change is the save selection as, so that if I want to identify the name in the API, I will use the name of the export settings. So let me click on this. I can name it whatever I want. Let me name it dashboard. Let me just name it dashboard for easy access. Dashboard. And for the select questions to be exported, I can delete what I don't want. So I will check this. So I don't want the start. I don't want the end. I want the name. I want the name of parent, student. Who is this? I want the calculation. I don't want the first calculation. It's going to be in 1, so I don't want it. I can uncheck. I don't want this. I don't want this to go. I don't want this. I don't want this. I want the score, right? I also want the calculation. Yeah. I don't want the version. I don't want the ID. I don't want all this. So I only need, I don't want status. I don't want submitted by. I don't want tag. And I don't want index. So I only want all this. So this is what I want, right? I want the calculation 005. I want the score. I don't want all these other calculations. So I'm going to click on exports, and it's going to download the form to Excel. Here I select SLS, right? So you can see is in, you can see. So I can click on this to view the form. Let me just quickly view the form. Let me see what is going to be in the form. You can see here I only have all what I selected. So the first one is name of student, name of parent. You can see name of student is the first one, name of parent, email address. You can see this is beautiful. The score is 2 and fail. The score is 5 and pass, right? So this is what I want. So now what I need to do now is to search for the API. So to search for the API, I'm going to clear all this, and I'm going to leave this empty. So if you are using Kobotoolbox.humanitarian response, is what you are going to have as your URL. If you are using Kobotoolbox.org, you'll be having kc.kobotoolbox.org. But I'm using the humanitarian form. So I'm going to clear all this and write API/v2. So I'm going to click on this. So it's going to take me to the API route. So I'm going to click on the first one, which is the asset, the first one here, and it's going to take me to the API asset where we have access to the endpoint of the API. So let me click on this. It's loading. So we need to wait for it. Based on my internet connection, we need to wait for this, right? So it's loading. So I'm in the assets list. You can see. So this is the API of the form. This is the API of the form. So this is what we need to connect the form to Google Sheets. So like I said, you remember I renamed the form as dashboard. So to look for the exact form, what I need to do is just to press Ctrl F, or if you are using MacBook, you can press Command F and search for the name. So I named the form dashboard. You can see here I have dashboard. So this is what I need. Let me cancel this. So yeah, this is what I need. I need this form. I need the export settings. And in order to connect the two pieces of software, which is the Kobotoolbox and Google Sheets, I will need the CSV, the comma separated value. So I'm going to copy the comma separated value. Let me just copy this. I'm going to copy this. And you can also download it from here. If I click on it, it's going to pop up the window folder, window savers. Then I can also view it from here, but I don't want to view it. So now I'm going to use this URL to connect this Kobotoolbox with Google Sheets. Now I'm going to go to Google Sheets. To go to Google Sheets, what I need to do is just to type sheets.new, and it's going to create a new Google Sheet for me. So let's see. You can see I have untitled spreadsheets, right? So I can, if I want to rename it, I can name it here in the A1 column. In the A1 column, I want to this is where I'm going to use to display the form to Google Sheet. Here I'm going to write equal using simple syntax. Imports using imports. What I want to import is data. So I'm going to click on import data, and it's going to use the function of import data. Apostrophe paste what I have. You can see I have https kobotoolbox.humanitarian-info/API asset, the UID, export setting, and also the token/data.csv, right? After that, then I'll close it with apostrophe. Then I'll press comma. Then I'll use apostrophe again. In order to separate CSV, I'm going to use this semicolon. So this semicolon will be able to separate it's going to separate the CSV into column. So I'm going to close it, and I'm going to close the bracket. Then I'm going to press enter, and it's going to load the data into Google Sheets. You can see this work like magic. You can see it. I have the name, I have the name of parent, I have the name of student, I have the student ID. Who is this? I have the question. This is the question I asked. So I can move this question also along with the score to trigger the notification to the parent of the student. Now, to trigger the notification, what I need to do is to go to extension. I already have it here. I'm using Mail Mago. So there are several extensions that you can connect with. So you go to extension and go to add-ons, then go to get add-ons, and it's going to pop up this. Then you can add any extension that you want to use. Let me use March. Let me use May March. Let me just click on this, and it's going to bring up you can see we have form mode. We can use all these ones to merge mails together, or to send email, to send prompt notification to users. So I'm using this. So I already installed this. You can see. So you can go ahead and install this to your PC. So I'm going to close this. Right now, what I need to do now is I'm going to create the mail that I want to send to the parent of the student. So I'm going to go to my email. So I'm going to go to my Gmail, in other words. So I'm using Gmail. I'm going to go to my Gmail and create a draft of what I want to send to the parent. So to create a draft, what I need to do is just to come to Compose. I'll click on Compose. Then it's going to load. For the recipient, I'm going to leave it blank. For the subject, I can say student assessment. Student assessment, right? And for the body of the mail, I'm going to say, dear, I want to call the name of the parent. So to call the name of the parent, I will go back to the Google Sheet. You can see this is the name of the parent, and I want it to call the exact parent. So to do that, I'm going to copy this, what I have in the column name. I'm going to go to my mail and use double curly brackets, and I'm going to paste it inside. Close the double curly brackets, right? So I'm going to use this, the name of the parent, right? So their name of the parent, which is David, which if I'm sending to David, is going to call David. If I'm sending to Michael, it's going to call Michael. So I'll go back, their parents. So I'll go back to this. I can just write just simple message. This is the score of your child. So I'm going to use double curly brackets to paste the score of the child. So this is the score, right? This is the score. So I'm going to copy this, go back to this, and paste it here. Use paste as plain text. Then I'll close it. This is called, and I can just add and e she double curly bracket again. Copy what I have here, which is this. Come to this space, paste with text, then paste. He or she pass or fail the test. Then let me just say thank you. I can change all this. Can change it. And also, if you want to if you want to pass other information, you can also pass other information into the draft draft email, draft mail rather. So I'll go back again. Now what I need to do now is, let me go back. Yeah, so I need to send the message. So to send the message, what I need to do is to come here, click on mail match, yeah, and it's loading. And I'm going to select a Gmail draft. Automatically selected student assessment, which is what I want, the email, and it automatically select, you can see, email of parents. That's what I want. I want to use this column to send this email. You can see the sender. I don't want my name to appear. Let me use a name. Let me just use let me use Lagos School Academy. Lagos School Academy. So now I'll click on this send email, and it's going to automatically send the email, the message to the parents of the student. Let's wait and see. You can see sent, and it's going to send also to this. So if we fill the form again, it's going to automatically send the email to, it's going to send the mail to the parent of the child. You can see I have the second one, sent and sent. So let me check it out. You can see within microseconds I have it in my email. Lagos School Academy student assessment. You can see dear Michael, which is the first one. This is the score of your child, 5, and he or she passed. You can see thank you. Let me check the second one. Dear David, this is the score of your child, 2, and he or she, you can type, you can coin this, you can paraphrase this and use it, or do whatever you like. You can see that is how to connect Kobotoolbox to Google Sheets, and how to pass information from Google Sheets to mail. You can see, so we've been able to do the three. We've been able to create a simple form, connect to Google Sheets, and also send notification. So that is how to perform the simple operation in Kobotoolbox.